Hey everybody, A's Fan Jim here. Today I thought I'd share some of my Carney Lansford collection with you. I super collect Carney. I currently have about 277 different cards. That's about 75% of what's out there. I also collect some other oddball items. So I just wanted to share a little bit of what I have in my collection. So on the left back there, you can see the 1989 starting lineup figure on the card. The photo in the back is a TV Sports mailbag 8x10. This guy over here is a 1985 Donruss Super Diamond King. This is the 5x7 version. On the back here is a 1981 Topps Super Home Team, I believe it's called. Back when he was with the Red Sox. Carney started his career with the Angels. He was drafted 5th. He was then traded to the Red Sox and then eventually traded to the A's once Wade Boggs came up as the Red Sox third baseman. And then there's the autograph ball there in the center. Have a PSA card of his rookie card here. This is a Mint 9. And I looked this up on PSA, and this is the most common grade. There are a handful of 10s out there, but a PSA 9 is good enough for me. All right, next up, I have a 2007 Sweet Spot autograph. No, the camera's not blurry. The problem with these cards was the ink that was used on these balls tended to bleed over time. So the blues kind of look like this. This was also available with black ink. Those tend to look a gold color because they tend to fade over time. Next up, here's a 2004. This was a buyback. Donruss bought back cards from 1981 through, I think, 1992 in varying amounts and had the players sign. So this one, for instance, is out of 54. Most of these that they bought back, they had them sign in blue and black ink. And like I said, there's varying amounts of from each year. So let's jump back all the way back to, this is from 1978. So this was before his rookie card. This is from Family Fun Centers. That was at like a place you could play like miniature golf, and they probably had like water slides, batting cages, things like that. I'm not exactly sure how these were issued. This one happens to be autographed, but yeah, this one's what, 41 years old now, and this is just a blank back. It's kind of like a little postcard. So also from 1978 is this SSPC card, and that stands for Sports Stars Publishing Company. These originally came in a magazine. So there were sheets of cards in a magazine. I think there was like 8 teams in this magazine. It was called All-Star Gallery. So you basically had to take the sheets out, and then there was little dotted lines. You could cut the cards out by hand. This one actually looks pretty good. This one looks like it was professionally cut. Again, this one's autographed. Next up, some oddball stuff here. This is a 1983 Granny Goose. This was put into potato chip bags, and this has a little instant win game at the bottom with a little perforation, so you'd scratch that off, and I'm not sure how it worked, but I'm assuming if you were a winner, you could write your information on the back and send it in for whatever prize you won. So a lot of times you won't find these with this little tab at the bottom, or it'll be scratched. So this isn't one of those intact ones. Next up is a Stewart Panel. I tried to do some research on Stewart. I'm assuming maybe it was a grocery store, but I could not find any information on it. This is a complete panel of 4 for the Oakland A's. So this has Jose Canseco, Carney Lansford, the information for the drawing or whatever, and Alfredo Griffin. And the backs look just like a regular card, the entry form. So yeah, so I don't know what store that was, but I assume maybe a Canadian store, I'm not really sure. Next up, I have these tattoos. These are, I forget what year these are, 1986. I have two of them. One is the Topps version, and one is the O-Pee-Chee version. So let's take a look at these. These are complete sheets, and there are 6 cards connected here. So we have John Franco, Larry Sheets, Greg Nettles, Don Mattingly, there's Lansford, Rick Russell, Don Sutton, and Mike Schmidt. So these were tattoos. You could wet them, put them on your skin. So yeah, these are complete. This is 7 of 24. And the O-Pee-Chee one's exactly the same. Just issued in Canada. So next up, I have some of these. These are 1981 Topps baseball scratch-offs. And this was a little game you could play with your friends. There's the information on how to play, the little scorecard or scoreboard, and you could purchase a hat for, looks like $8. These are intact cards of 3. Oftentimes you'll find these have been separated into individual cards. This one actually comes in many variations. I have 4 different variations. Lansford was always the middle, with varying players on top and bottom. These are the only 4 variations I've found. I wouldn't be surprised if there are others out there, but for now that's what I have. So now I have a few oddball things to show. I just picked these up. These are game-used tickets. This one is from 2018. They put varying images on these, and this happens to be from the 1989 World Series, where they had just won the World Series over the Giants. And so there's Lansford celebrating with the team. There's also this one from 2019, and this is the same image, just in green and white. And then the next one is also from 2019. This is a quote from Carney Lansford talking about Tony La Russa. I never saw him outmanaged. So Tony La Russa inducted into the Hall of Fame 2014. So I thought those were kind of fun to add. Next up, I have this is from, I think this was, what is this? 1984 Fun Foods button. So this is the actual button. And then I have the little proof, which was on a sheet that this was cut from. So the button and the proof there. All right, and next up I found a 2018 pocket schedule with Lansford on the front. So there's that. And the last thing I'm going to show you here, this is a 1982, from February 82, Baseball Digest with Lansford on the cover. In 1981, he won the batting title with a batting average of .336. Didn't win any other batting titles, but he did get it that year. And what I found interesting on this magazine, I don't know if it was because they usually put the mailing label on the front of these, but it actually has a double cover. So I don't know if that was with the mailing label. You could just take out the outer cover and you'd still have a nice magazine without anything on it, but pretty cool. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed what I showed, and I'll be back soon.